You don't become rich because you're still negotiating with your own weakness, not with the market, not with luck, not with opportunities, with yourself. Every day there's a silent deal happening in your mind. Comfort now, or growth later. And most people, without even noticing, sign away their future for something small, immediate, and easy. That's the real reason wealth stays out of reach, not because it's complicated, but because it demands a version of you that most people refuse to become. Stoicism doesn't promise you riches. It gives you something more dangerous, the mindset that makes wealth almost inevitable if you don't sabotage it. Here are 10 Stoic principles that expose exactly why you're not rich and what would have to change. First, you don't control your desires, so your desires control you. Most people think wealth is about earning more. It's not. It's about needing less than you earn. The Stoics understood this brutally well. If your lifestyle expands as fast as your income, you'll always feel poor, no matter how much you make. You buy to impress, to escape boredom, to numb stress. That's not living, that's dependency. Wealth begins the moment your desires become disciplined. When you can say no, not because you have to, but because you choose to, you take back control. And control is the foundation of financial power. Second, you avoid discomfort, which means you avoid growth. Every profitable skill sits on the other side of discomfort. Selling, negotiating, learning new systems, taking calculated risks, none of it feels natural at first. But you keep choosing what's easy. Scrolling instead of studying. Watching instead of building. Waiting instead of acting. The Stoics trained themselves to endure discomfort voluntarily. Why? Because when discomfort becomes normal, growth becomes automatic. If you're still optimizing your life for comfort, you've already chosen mediocrity. Third, you lack clarity, so your effort is scattered. You say you want money. That's vague. That's weak. The Stoics were precise thinkers. They didn't chase everything. They committed to something. What skill are you building that the market pays for? What system are you scaling? What problem are you solving? If you can't answer that clearly, you're not building wealth. You're just staying busy. Activity feels productive, but without direction, it's just noise. Wealth requires focus, and focus requires brutal clarity. Fourth, you react emotionally instead of acting rationally. Markets move, opportunities appear and disappear. People win, people lose. But if your decisions are driven by fear, envy, or impulse, you'll always be late, wrong, or inconsistent. Stoicism trains emotional detachment, not to make you cold, but to make you effective. When others panic, you observe. When others chase trends blindly, you calculate. Emotional control isn't optional in wealth building. It's a competitive advantage. Most people lose money not because they lack intelligence, but because they lack discipline under pressure. Fifth, you underestimate time and overestimate short-term results. You want fast money, quick wins, immediate proof that you are on the right path. That mindset alone keeps you stuck. The Stoics played a longer game. They understood that anything meaningful, skill, reputation, capital, compounds slowly and then suddenly. But you quit too early. You switch strategies too often. You get bored before results show up. Wealth isn't built in moments of intensity. It's built in long stretches of consistency that look boring from the outside. If you can't stay committed when nothing exciting is happening, you'll never reach the point where everything changes. Sixth, you blame external factors instead of mastering internal ones. The economy, your job, your background, your country, your luck, all real factors, but none of them are in your control. Stoicism draws a hard line. Focus only on what you can control: your actions, your skills, your habits, your decisions. Blame is comfortable because it removes responsibility, but it also removes power. The moment you shift from, "Why is this happening to me?" to "What can I do about it?" everything changes, not instantly, but permanently. Seventh, you don't build leverage, you trade time for money. If your income depends entirely on your time, you've capped your growth. There are only 24 hours in a day, and you're already spending most of them. The Stoics valued efficiency, not in a modern hustle sense, but in aligning effort with outcome. Today, leverage is everything: systems, content, code, investments, networks, something that works for you, even when you're not actively working. If you're only thinking in terms of hours worked, you're thinking too small. Wealth requires multiplication, not just addition. Eighth, you're too concerned with opinions that don't pay you. This one is brutal. You hesitate to start, to post, to sell, to try, because of what people might think. People who are not building anything. People who are not paying your bills. People who will forget your failure in a week, but you'll live with your regret for years. The Stoics were clear. Other people's opinions are outside your control, and therefore irrelevant to your purpose. If your actions are aligned with your values and your goals, external judgment is noise. The cost of caring too much is invisible, but massive. Ninth, you don't practice self-discipline when no one is watching. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. Discipline is different. It's quiet, consistent, and often invisible. It's what you do when there's no immediate reward, no recognition, no pressure. The Stoics built their character in private. They trained their minds to follow through, regardless of mood. If you only work hard when you feel like it, you'll only get results occasionally. Wealth doesn't come from occasional effort. It comes from repeated, disciplined action over time. Boring, predictable, effective. 10th, you haven't decided who you need to become. This is the core issue. You're trying to achieve something without transforming into someone capable of sustaining it. Wealth isn't just an outcome, it's a byproduct of identity. A person who thinks clearly, acts consistently, manages risk, controls impulses, and focuses on long-term value will eventually accumulate wealth, not by luck, but by design. But if you keep your current habits, your current mindset, your current standards, no strategy will save you. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems and your identity. So here's the uncomfortable truth. You don't need another opportunity. You don't need better timing. You don't need more information. You need alignment between what you say you want and what you actually do. The Stoics didn't wait for perfect conditions. They trained themselves to operate effectively under any conditions. That's the difference. While others look for shortcuts, they build strength. While others complain, they adjust. While others hesitate, they act. And over time, that gap compounds. If you're serious about becoming wealthy, not just financially, but mentally and strategically, start here. Audit your day. Not what you plan to do, but what you actually do. Identify where comfort is replacing growth. Cut unnecessary desires that drain your resources. Commit to one valuable skill and push through the initial discomfort. Build something that can scale beyond your time. And most importantly, hold yourself accountable without excuses. No one is coming to fix this for you. The path is simple. Not easy, but simple. Control what you can, accept what you can't, and execute relentlessly on the difference. That's not just philosophy. That's how you stop being the reason you're not rich. and start becoming the reason you are.